now on our first map of our first match of the night, Clubhouse, Queen Yolo mid, Team Sinister. Start right now.
Well, let's get things going. We got everything dialed in. Hopefully my new mic's up and everything is sounding proper. So when I get loud, as everyone routinely knows, it doesn't shatter everyone's ears. But we're going to be going through bans first here on Clubhouse. Queen Yolo mid obviously starting on defense, so they get first ban. More than likely going to be seeing the Maverick or just the routine stuff come out. I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy come out just yet. We're going to have Thermite banned out, which it's kind of pick your poison. You have to get rid of one of the hard destructions. You don't want to try and rely with all of them up on the board, especially Maverick. We actually might even see Maverick banned out on offense still. But getting rid of that Thermite does make things a little bit easier, especially with Kaid, because Thermite's fuse charge on his Thatcher ban coming out as well. I really like that. They need to get rid of Kaid here. That's what really needs to happen for Queen Yolo mid. But just to finish my thought, the fuse time between Thermite and Hibana is such a variance that it makes it a lot easier for Kaid to actually trick Hibanas instead of Thermites.
Yes, indeed. And we actually saw this last week. We saw a Thermite Thatcher ban, and just like you said, Kaid right off the board. I mean, both teams are shooting themselves in the foot. Now, if you're on defense first, right, not banning Kaid might be a decent move, because you can at the very least attempt to go for a 6-0 score line at the half and try and make something. I mean, you only have to make one thing happen in the entire second half in order to take the map away. So there is something to consider. We'll see Mira gone as well, which probably has the highest ban rate in any competitive play in any map. But there we go, our 4 operators off the board, and we will begin round number 1.
Actually, Echo right now is the biggest banned op on defense. It's between him and Mira. So those two get removed almost instantaneously because of how powerful they are. This actually is a really awkward ban phase, and it really does call into question what Sinister was kind of doing with their bans because of the Kaid ban. They're starting on offense here, and they tore the Thatcher away from themselves. But in order to do that, they also had to pull away the Kaid so that the defense didn't have access to the Kaid. So they kind of just canceled themselves out, if you understand where I'm going with this. So it's with the offensive ban, I would have liked to see them go somewhere else, but we'll have to see really, how the dice rolls here for Sinister, because as of right now, it's just a very awkward ban phase for them banning directly into themselves.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's for sure. We'll go down all the way to basement, which is not atypical. We do see Cash sometimes first right out of the gate as well. We'll see at least one run straight upstairs. And really, we've been here before, right? Clubhouse, even prior to the rework, the setup downstairs, nothing's really changed too much, I would venture to say. Reinforce the church wall, reinforce the hatch. Sometimes you'll see impact plays on the hatches, especially the one in kitchen. So we'll have to wait until the game kind of gets underway to really break down and see what different about this particular team setup is going to happen. We'll have the Mozzie upstairs and roaming. I do like to see after the rework, and I say the rework like it's a new thing, but it's been around. I think this is the first rework, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right, Stokes?
Correct. It is the first rework.
So it's kind of formed into I'm not going to say a stale meta because of the roaming opportunities, and we will actually have 2 upstairs. So it should be pretty interesting. We've seen the full turtle downstairs coming out last week, and we've seen the roaming game. We've seen the roaming game get shut down. I don't think we've seen a very successful 2-person roaming game upstairs, so I'm excited to see what can be done.
It should be very interesting. Fuya's going to have first contact. It's actually going to be Garbage. He's knocked down quite a bit of health already. Not the best angle to be taken, especially from upstairs. Good shots from Fu to pre-fire the billiards window, though. They're definitely going to have to try and get rid of them. Otherwise, they're definitely going to punish them on this roam. I like how they have things set up upstairs as well, due to the lesion mines on the staircase, as well as having the pests around, making things more difficult to drone. But they do have Kai in already. She's got some drone presence as well, trying to find these initial frags. We have Babbers inside of Secret. Still has one to worry about, though. Needs to try and get a mark on Fu. These two are roaming in unison right now. First drone going to come through bathroom. Sees the rotate motions in. Walks right into the goo mine. Kai, dangerous territory. Is she going to peek in? Fuya is going to get ripped. Twitch, not looking at his secret, gets taken down as well as the Bappers and Fuya duo start things off right.
I mean, they took map control pretty quickly, but unfortunately, they weren't able to act on the information that they got from the drone on the roamers quickly enough. They were able to reposition and take it. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure if Bappers was even spotted. So unfortunately for them, they will not stop the roam. We still have 2 people nice and healthy upstairs. And look at this, Maverick having to be brought out onto a soft hatch to try and make something happen. Time will tick away, and a 3-5, almost a 2-5 member or operator advantage for Queen Yolo mid as the Buck working with just a teensy smidge of health.
All right, well, it looks like the rotation is going to be over into blue stairs hallway. That's really all they have left. They do still have 2 of the hard destructions. Not much hatch pressure, though. It does look like it's going to be a full send into blue. Initial stones coming out from Lady Brutal, but going to be met with a couple of very weird holes sitting down at the bottom of blue. That's going to give Autumn quite a bit of line of sight in towards the AC area. E-Girl now stuck between a rock and a hard place as bullets flying around her. Ashton's still worried about main stairs, it appears, as the rest of them are still focused in, as we are going to have actually Ann jump on that yokai drone. Knocks one, but it's actually going to be Autumn to fall. A quick refrag, though, in the corner as Fuya will take down one. Animosity with the second. Only needs to find one. A quick shot from the Habana will take down Valkyrie. That's Lady Brutal onto Ashton. Fuya, as well as the 2 remaining members, will be able to remove Brutal from the game. That's going to be the first round for Queen Yolo mid.
That was a nice little flick there in the kill cam. She was kind of covered up with the ACOG a little bit, but a little bit is all I guess you really need to see to finish off that kill. And just like we saw last week, Queen Yolo mid starting off strong, definitely on the backs of the fantastic roaming job by Fuya and Bappers up top, unstoppable. You know, it's a real pain when you send your 2 roam hunters in, they both get killed. Now you have your enemies above and below you, so you're always having to watch your back. There's no time, even though the hatches were open. We saw that when the Buck made entry and was peeking up through the hatch, so they could drop at any time. Not a very fun situation to be in at all.
Okay, well, we're going to be going somewhere, folks. Okay, we're going to be going to Bar Stockroom, which, since the update of this map, I have not casted a single time because this site is garbage. But this defense might be able to throw off the offense quite a bit because you have to play this site from upstairs as well as the stage area where you see Aaron standing right now. It appears that they're going to be going for more of a horizontal hold here. You don't see much pressure getting allocated up top just yet. Bappers making a rotate hold for stage and setting up some castle barricades with Ashton right now. So it looks like they're going to be trying to set lounge as basically an island area where you can try and hold down stock in order to really lock down this entire site. They're only going to have some pressure from up top, but it appears that they're just going to have a hole made from down below inside the kitchen, as well as a couple other of impacts. This is a very awkward setup, but again, haven't casted this specific site since we've actually seen this map come back into play. So I really like the idea what's going in around it. Obviously, we can always overanalyze things. I really like how they've used their impact so far, especially in the bar area, to make sure that no one has safe harbor inside of that area. But this is definitely going to be weird for the offense to try and figure out. I really don't like how they didn't pick up Jackal either, because Jackal could have definitely helped them out with that roam game that they had so much trouble with, especially when they were attacking that top floor, because they're going to have to follow suit and do it all over again.
Yes, indeed. So I know that there is a little bit of a discrepancy in time between our voices and the video feed, so I'm going to do something a little bit on the awkward side. I'm going to give a countdown to our producer just so we can get synced up and we're not calling the action in the future. So, Mr. DJ, I'm at 2 minutes, 10, 9, 8, 7. There we go. Hopefully we can get a little bit better synced up now and not, again, be calling action from the distant future. Actually, Stokes and I both are just, we can see what's going to happen way before it happens. We're just that good, ladies and gentlemen. I promise. But here we go. Round number 2, a minute off the clock. And unlike last time, I think because of the pressure that the roamers had put on them the previous round, we've got Sinister not making very much progression into the building this early. They'll finally take a route upstairs, and like Mr. Stokes himself said, bar. A very interesting site. I'm not sure if they know how to actually attack this, because, I mean, how often do you see this? You don't even see this in rank, right? And that's what a lot of these gals have a lot of experience doing, is playing rank, not so much a comp. For sure, this is going to be the first time in scrims, etc., that they are seeing a bar come out.
Yeah, this is going to be, again, I think that's interesting, but I would motion as far as to say this site really has not changed that much since the rework at all. It still is more or less, hey, let's just attack stock room and try and get a plant down some smokes. And they do have Lady Brutal on the Capital, which definitely could help them out, but it does seem like they are still poised to try and attack this upstairs. Garbage needs some help right now. She might be walking into a line of sight. She'll walk directly into, I believe it's Ashton. Yes, it is going to be Ashton upstairs to take down Garbage with that 45. We do have some roamers downstairs as well, and the likes of Bappers currently at the bottom of blue. Trying to get it plant down now, as they said, they need to try and focus on the Stockholm and use some smokes, but Animosity's Yokai is going to be doing his due diligence to keep this diffuser from going down. Anxiety will fall, and all of a sudden, Rock in a hard place for this offense. Just trying to battle back now as Kai, she tries to open up the gates here, as Animosity will fall. No more Yokai access. Moves up the plant side of the corner. We do have Bappers, though, in close. She needs to make a move now. She could try and hop the window and rotate towards the door, as the rest of her team is currently getting punished. We got to rotate inside, but it's all going to be left with one woman alone. It's going to be Bappers. Oh, excuse me, and Ashton. Thought we still had one down, but now it's what I said in Portal. It's going to be knocked down to the 1v1, though. It's going to be between Ashton and Lady Brutal. Brutal not very much healthy. She needs to try and win out this gunfight, peek off that info. She needs to use these sound cues, playing very, very safe. Still has stuns to try and stun out as well. It's going to need one shot, and it's going to be Ashton to win it out. Brutal looking the wrong way, and it's going to be 1-1, and that's exactly why, ladies and gentlemen, you don't go to bar.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. Kai with the 4K, almost the ace to put her team on her back, Team Sinister. I really like what Lady did in order to get into the corner, safe, able to plant, but unfortunately didn't feel safe enough to exit said spot. I mean, the Yokai saw and they knew exactly where she planted at, but like you said, got to use the sound cues, kind of aim towards the soft wall, the opening of the soft wall towards bar, and that ended up being the wrong spot. Had no time to react. Ashton comes around the corner, finishes the job, gets a defuse, and that's Queen Yolo mid, up 2-0, looking very strong. Team Sinister, with the exception of Kai, not looking so comfortable here so far here on Clubhouse.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Well, jumping into round 3 here, and actually the scoreline is 2-0. I got that call there. See, I'm in the retirement home right now. I literally casted the major, and then I casted like DreamHack, sitting like lounged inside of my chair with Ranger. Like I'm in the retirement home until like the rain is just fried right now. But, anyways, despite that fact, it is currently 2-0 for the defense, and still, the bar hold, very, very weird. They had to win it out on some heroics, but it ended up working out in the end. So I'll retract my previous statement. I still don't like going to bar. It's a very awkward site, and things should never be that close,
10 seconds
especially
to
when
go.
you have those early picks upstairs, especially with the likes of Garbage roaming by herself. Does not help out. I would still really like to see this Jackal pick up. Jackal's such a powerful operator, especially in helping teams try and coordinate things correctly. I mean, all you have to do is track somebody's footsteps, and you have all the information in the world to force them to move or get some help from a teammate to actually end up killing said roamer, making things a little bit easier.
Yes, so as Stokes recenters himself back into the game, just about to do that. Here we go to round number 3.
I already get enough of it from Parker. I don't need it from you two, all right?
Well, I feel like your co-caster's job, no matter who they are, is to, you know, keep you on the straight and narrow. But here we go, round 3. And Queen Sinister, like I said, just absolutely dominating right now. Kai had a fantastic round from her team. She's going to need some help from her teammates if they want to bring this back. But now a very much preferred site versus bar for Queen Yolo mid being picked, and the Maverick coming out already drawing lines, but not in the typical fashion that we see down by the feet. Instead, she will do it up and over her head, which you know, you can't really get an angle through that slit. And oh no, almost a little bit of team damage coming out as operating at the same angle. But you know, if you cut that line with the Maverick so high, there's absolutely no way you can peek through said line unless you're hanging upside down and repel. And if the wall's electrified, you're going to be getting popped. Takes of damage every second until you make something happen. So an interesting spot to say the least. But they will open up below while we were elsewhere. And we will get the first pick of the round. Booyah! Taking out Kai, the 4K master from last round for Team Sinister.
Yeah, it just seems that on this defense, they're just playing into how the offense continues to stall out. They really need to try and set a focal point for what they want to get done here. because as of right now, their main focus was, okay, we need to prevent rotations into CCTV, which is perfectly fine. They're trying to get the wall open. They finally got the wall open a little bit late on time, but not a bad execution in the slightest. But the issue is now they're stalling out on these angles. They don't really know what they need to take control of, and that early death, especially outside for Kai, makes things all the more harder. The fact that they don't have someone to try and force that opposition anymore. They still have garbage on Buck, but those concussions definitely help out inside of those gunfights, and Fuyu has been capitalizing on that. Every single time they seem to stall out, she finds the angle to try and hold until someone peeks in, immediately removes them from the game, and all of a sudden it's an easy win here for Team Yolo mid.
Well, that still remains to be seen, although up 4-5, you know, Queen Yolo mid not doing anything wrong that I've seen so far. And if they continue along that path, it's going to be a very quick game. And folks, we're getting word we're still way ahead of the stream. I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
15
Anxiety.
seconds to go.
Okay. Yeah, she'll be back. But Booyah with the 2-piece. That's 3
remaining.
on the round. Just kind of repeating what we saw from her last week. E-Girl, she'll find one. Booyah with her 4th onto Anxiety. And E-Girl, she'll find her 2nd on Autumn May. But who will it be? Animosity will steal the ace away, but steal the round for Queen Yolo mid. I was kind of hoping she'd let Booyah come up and close it out, but hey, it's comp. Kills don't mean everything. Got to win the round. And 3 straight now for Queen Yolo mid.
They don't mean anything until you ace a team. Then they mean something, because you kind of just won the whole round.
Yeah, real quick, sorry to cut you off. We're going to give another time check to our producer to see if we can't get back in sync. I've got 2, 1, 0 on the countdown. Hopefully he can work with that.
Yeah, I'm just 1 second behind you, so I'm just going to refresh real quick and see if it works.
Perfect. And we're sorry for the technical details. You know, unlike some of the fancier broadcasts with a bigger budget that you might be watching, we've got our 2 casters, our observer, and our producer that actually overlays the graphics and stuff all over the country, all over the United States.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
And so
bombs.
sometimes over the internet, you know, we rely on Skype, we rely on Discord, we rely on YouTube. You know, having to kind of juggle and get all these things dialed in can be a chore from time to time, but we appreciate you guys sticking with us as we work out these bugs. And hopefully we're back in. I'm going to give it one more count real quick while the operator set up. We're at 22, 1, 0, 9. And looks like we are getting a little bit better at least. If we're a second or, you know, a second and a half off.
Yeah, I'm like a second ahead of you, but I'm definitely not refreshing.
Up and running.
That's totally fine with me. If we're within a second, I think everybody can live with that. And sometimes
As long as I'm not telling the far
Attackers must
future, we're
locate
okay.
and defuse a bomb.
yeah, which apparently we were telling like 10 to 15 seconds in the
I'm an
future.
oracle, in case you guys were wondering. So.
Yeah, that's really what it is, right? So we actually have to turn our brains down.
Empire's going to win 6th Invitational. You're welcome.
Uh-oh. Well, I see my aura and soothsaying ability says something different, but I'm not going to make any predictions just yet. But here we go. Round number 4, 30 seconds off the board, and it looks like back down to the basement. Queen Yolo mid sitting at 3-0 will go.
All right, well, great progression here from Garbage. Immediately going to get the blue hat open. It looks like they don't want to try and mess around with this upstairs roam anymore of Fu and Bappers, which completely destroyed them last time. Actually, Fu's going to rotate back downstairs. I saw them both motioning up the main stairs prior to this, so I just assumed that we were going to be going, well, down the same road. Doesn't seem like we are going to be doing that, though, as I accidentally hit the arrow on my keyboard to back me up 5 seconds, but we got it fixed. Fuya now motions over towards blue. The offense still trying to work open these hatches, and as of right now, with their current setup inside of, current setup with their utility, they still do have plenty of time to try and get these hatches open, but it's going to come down to which site they want to execute. With what they have, I'm going to assume it's probably going to be an armory lockers attack. Otherwise, if they do try and go church, it does get a little bit more difficult. They might definitely a little bit better at getting that wall open on time. They don't have to worry about the Kaid, but with those X-Kairos taking so long, you have to worry about multiple angles and someone rotating. They've had quite a bit of trouble with it in the past already. Garbage going to take a little bit of damage from underneath as Autumn tries to work her angles.
Yeah, that's the thing about blowing holes in the floor is that the two-way street, they can see back up through it, and they've been hitting their shots. Oh, Buck will just see the head. The bullets will miss on both sides. Autumn May will keep challenging the buck in the freezer with a zero respect. Fuya will get the opening kill. No surprise to anybody. Fuya is like a vampire right now with an unquenchable thirst for her enemy's blood as she will open up the kill in round number 4. And everything will stabilize. Autumn May will back off, now having the woman advantage in the round. Only 50 seconds left to go. The attackers just don't have any foothold to even get close to approaching site. Everybody on site right now is sitting comfortably. We do see one up above, I believe, trying to make a rotate back. And look, angles are being held. They just drone Fuya out. No, actually, they drone somebody out, laying prone right at the cutout there. Right block. Automation will find one of her own, and it is the Fuya Autumn show right now as the diffuser will go down into the windowsill of Kitchen. Autumn will see one, try to pop some shots up through it with the SMG-11, and Eager will get the opening kill for Sinister, but is it too much, or too little too late, rather? There's only 12 seconds left to go. They're going to have to push it right now. Ashton, she'll find one, 4-1, they know where the last one is. Shots will come out, Eager will find a second, but Ashton will close it out with a 2K, and Queen Yolo mid can do no wrong.
Yeah, Queen Yolo mid just putting him right to the grinder right now, and honestly, for the offensive Sin, it seems that the synergy just really isn't there yet. And that's something that does happen a lot with younger competitive teams, to where the coordination just hasn't progressed far enough to where they move as one cohesive unit. And that really seems to be plaguing them right now. If they can try and bring things back to center and just focus on one step at a time, it seems like there's a lot of things like, hey, we need to worry about the roam game, but also get this hatch open, but also cover these angles. Just one step at a time. That's how things need to be handled currently until things obviously progress. For Sinister, again, it just seems like there's just a little bit of overbearingness on these steps that they're trying to take. Everyone's spread across the map. There's no real synergy going on. Obviously, there's synergy inside of the comms, but you don't want to try and do a job alone inside of this game, because that's how you get punished. That's how Fuya gets 4Ks. She just walks out, finds one person alone. If she wins that gunfight, she knows no one's going to be around them, and she just continues on down that line. They literally let her walk up main stairs and garage after she got 3 kills downstairs, and she could either go cash or try and rotate up garage stairs. No drones or anything to watch her there. It's just there's so many steps inside of Siege in order to handle things in order to
bomb located by attackers.
They're just skipping a couple of the steps. And when they get those actually in tune with them, things are going to turn out a lot better. Right now, it just seems that, again, things are just a little bit desync.
Yeah, and to kind of put that point further,
5 seconds left.
As Vapors preps to throw a camera out, I was wondering if maybe she tried this out. I mean, I like Queen Yolo mid's ability.
Not the MPX, that gun is complete garbage. Oh,
well, no. I like their ability to kind of dial things back, right? They're kind of overwhelming right now for Sinister, but they're not just throwing it away.
No,
they're not throwing their lead away. And Kai, she'll find the first kill of the round onto Ashton. Ashton did some work last round with a 2K finishing round.
Oh, she was trying to castle it late. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, got to get that camera out and then the castle.
She was trying to castle the truck. Yeah, that's what she was doing. She tried to castle it because of the Valkyrie camera that Vapors threw out. She tried to castle it late, wasn't there when she immediately threw it. So just very unfortunate timing. But they're going to have some Mav work here by Eagle. She's going to try and make a soft panel with that breaching torch of Maverick. They are going to need garbage to rotate over in order to get that open, unless Kai is going to move over with her lifeline in order to get that open either. They are going to have to make Kairos Tellus go down, as Society is going to be opening up 2 separate angles. Just
attackers have located a bomb.
That might actually end up opening up just a little bit too high in order to crawl through. We'll find out in just a second. Garbage was going to try and throw one of her grenades, but doesn't need to. There is an ADS there, doesn't want to burn that. So still plenty of time on the board for the offense to try and get these worked open. Jacuzzi's usually your first piece you want to try and get control of in order to make things happen. E-Girl now on the drone. We got some coordination going in now. Fuya in some trouble. Should know that wall's open. She heard that skeleton key. Does she have a rotation out? Could be in trouble. Peeking through as the timing's going to get Anxiety punished. Sees the drone now, though, over on Jacuzzi as garbage rips the door down. You could try and motion in into the gunfight, or Boo really shocked with perhaps putting a rock in a hard place right now. Doesn't have anybody on her south balcony either.
Yeah, but she's not struggling too much, to be honest. She's got a couple of spots to do, as Autumn May will get one with the T4 onto Kai, the only one with the kill for Sinister this round so far.
Attackers have recovered their
issue is the lack of actionable intel for Sinister. They've got drones all over Fuya. She is trapped in the room. okay? You got to go after her. If you lose somebody, you have to be in a situation where you can get an immediate free grab. Look at
Drop
that.
the bomb diffuser.
Running by the window, you know somebody's in there. Somebody's covering the hole on Jacuzzi. Animosity will find one, 4v1 just like that. So you know she has to cross over. Lady Brutal will begin the attempt at a comeback. She's got to find 3 more in order to do anything. The time ticks away, but still plenty of time. It's full site control now for Queen Yolo mid, and they don't want to go for the plant. They want to go for the execution. Fappers finding the head of Lady Brutal, and Queen Yolo mid 1 round away from entering the half with a perfect score.
This is very, very tough, and I think still the main thing for me is that they're just giving Fuya ones. You can't give somebody ones like that. You're just going to continually lose that gunfight unless you already have the information in order to punish them. We saw E-Girl try and jiggle peek the window in order to try and gain some information or make Fuya shoot in order to gain info on where her positioning was so she could take the gunfight. She jiggle peeked once, but then wide swung the window, which immediately got her punished because of how good that 416 rifle is in the hands of Fuya. I mean, it has the highest body shot damage on defense. It's an insane weapon. So, especially in the hands of Fu, where she's been tearing people apart, definitely have the proper operator on the proper player. Just they need to try and handle things a little bit better on those info gains. They know that
Attackers
she's
need to
blocked
locate
inside
and
of weights.
defuse bombs.
Try and pressure her from 2 angles at once instead of 1 angle and then 1 angle immediately after. She knows that you're going to try and push her from that other angle immediately after. They tried to do that. It was just a little bit late, and then we saw Anne move up in the hallway and immediately get the frag on the person in through Jacuzzi wall. So just overall, I still think that just with a touch of more information, a little bit better on those comms and going, okay, we're pushing this person. I need you to motion in through Jacuzzi, motion to South Balcony, what have you. Moves this game just light years ahead.
Absolutely. So I'm not sure when the last time we got a look at the kill feed, or not the kill feed, but the score line. If our beautiful observer doesn't mind showing us a
Attackers
long
must locate
look at
and defuse
the
a bomb.
Scores right now. Thank you very much, Fuya. On top of the pile again. She had 16 last week. She's got 11 in 5 rounds this week, and it's all the Fuya show so far, which is a surprise to nobody. The rest of her team all doing work as well. The problem is they can't find anyone. There's nobody left to kill once Fuya's done with everybody, right? And the crazy thing is we watched Fuya in workout last round. She was alone. She didn't even need the help. You got to punish somebody in that situation with, and I'll say it again, actionable. You can keep drones on her all day, that's fine, but if you're going to send somebody just casually sprinting by the window and not do a double peek with a crossfire or something, you're not going to have a good day, and Fuya has been able to stop that every time. You're not going to outgun her face-to-face off of a peek. You got to walk up, you got to surprise her, you got to set her up in some sort of a crossfire, you got to do something to stop it. And I think that starts with being able to react to what somebody is seeing on a drone or some other intel more immediately. Here we go, a minute deep. They're going to open up and make that into a soft wall yet again, like they have been doing so far. And it's worked for them to get that wall open, although it took them half a round this time. I'm not sure where the rest of the attacking squad is. There they go. They go into, oh no.
Oh, what a shot from Fu.
Underneath oil pit.
Such a good read, and again, that's something that Jackal could have helped out with, just a little bit more droning downstairs in order to watch for these rotations, but just did not end up catching Fu. She did motion down that main stairs, rotated all the way through, recognizing how they didn't have garage pressure yet, able to get an easy kill onto E-Girl. They do already have the wall open, so her job was done, but definitely could have used the extra firepower. They still have to worry about Fu quite a bit. They do have garage pressure now as well, so this might be the most stretched we've seen this team so far. Anxiety trying to get the diffuser down. Lady Brutal takes down Fu. That's a massive pick. They needed that to win out. And all of a sudden, it's all Sin all the way. Orange lights up the scoreboard. It's all up to Ashton and Ann to try and win this out. Does still have the nitro cell. Enough did not end up getting to use that in order to prevent the plan Ashton to fall. And all of a sudden, it's all Ann against 4 with very, very minimal health. A reflex sight and a wish and a prayer, the only thing beside her. Motioning over towards the wall now. Does see the breach. Really can't find too much. Working that walk key. Pre-fire going to be coming through behind the server rack. Another mark coming out as she motions in for the angle. Doesn't see him, but it's going to be bucked from outside. Garbage to win out Sinister's first round, and it will not be perfection here for Team Yolo mid.
Hey, some life from Sinister. That is all I have been wanting to see all night. And we got a DC in the middle. So it looks like, yes, indeed, we're going to have to do a rehost here. 5-1. That really stinks. The timing, I would have liked to.
I would say it doesn't stink because it's right at halftime.
Well, it's right at halftime, but Sinister, even though they have to kind of get used to defense, they kind of are right off of their first round win of the match. So it would have been nice for them to kind of carry that over into the next round. So yes, we will indeed be rehosting, and then you get a look at our pretty faces once again. Yes, you will.
Well, hello, friends.
So yeah, welcome back. You can see Stokes just chilling. I am as well.
Oh, dude, I got the respawn chair. We're lounged right now.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Listen, I got the big old gaming chair too, although mine's a little beat up. It's worn in, broken in.
Yeah, not worn. It's broken in.
Yeah, don't forget, folks, we've got 4 matches tonight, all best of ones, 1st to 7, tie at 6. Then it is a 3-round overtime. So we are going into a rehost 5-1 for Queen Yolo mid. And let's talk about Fuya, because due to the rehost, you're not going to see that score line at the end of the match. But she is absolutely doing what she has proven. So last week, she had 16 kills in one game, 7. This week, I think the last time we looked, she had 11. She might have picked up one that last round, maybe got to 12, maybe was still at 11. Still double digits after 5 rounds. So the bottom line is, last week wasn't a fluke. I think the Fuya has proven that so far this time around. We are just loading up that rehosted match, getting the ops band and stuff like that. Thermite, Thatcher, Kaid, Mira. Do you think, Mr. Stokes, that the bans and because we've seen a couple of interesting operator bans, do you think that has anything to do with maybe Sinister being a little bit uncomfortable in Clubhouse?
I would like to think that, but they kind of did it to themselves. So they're the ones who got rid of Thatcher, and that Thatcher just makes everything easier. That's just a known fact. It's just an EMP ball. You throw it on the ground, and that's it. That's all you need to do. So them removing that told me that, hey, they've scrimmed with this. They've practiced with this before. They don't want it up. They're going to be able to make these executions with the Maverick and Buck. That didn't really come to fruition all up until the very end when they were able to shut down Fuya on rotation. And even then, it still seemed that on defense, we didn't see Team Yolo mid really make a strive to hold down Garage, which on that site in particular is so very important, because right when they get that Garage control and they already have the server wall open, or excuse me, CCTV wall open, all it is free. You just walk in, put the diffuser down. If lounge is cleared downstairs, they really can't do much. They either have to try and commit a nitro cell over the server rack, or try and throw a toxic babe over. Those are the only 2 ways to prevent that, unless obviously the other ways of like yokais and stuff like that. So
right.
for me, that was telling me like, hey, we can do this, but I just didn't really see it happen. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen with Team Yolo mid on offense. If they're going to be able to try and find anything with this, they have to find 2 rounds in order to win, but there's still a long road ahead of them if they're going to try and, well, more or less fall into the same tracks as what the offense of Team Sinister did.
Yeah, so, we saw last week be, Clubhouse specifically, more defensive-sided. And so we actually, I believe, saw a perfect score at the break flip. Remember, like, the biggest discrepancy in a score line that we saw last week was a 7-2. I think we saw 2 of those. But I think once we saw a perfect 6-0, and then it flipped, and they were able to win 2 before losing a defense after they had to go to, I guess, a less preferred site. So, I still think Sinister, they're not on the brink of destruction. They're not having to face up against match point. So they don't have to be perfect, but they're going to have to be darn near perfect. So being on defense, we talked about it. I talked about it, I think, more than you, but their lack of intel, the lack of acting on intel that was still good when it was time to act, was an issue for Sinister. And I think a defense is a little bit less of that, right? Because you can turtle, you can hold crossfires and wait for them to walk into it. You do not have to set yourself up. You do not have to push into a defense and set up crossfires kind of on the move. So Sinister, they've got a lot of work to do, and it is going to be the furthest thing from easy. But I think that they still have a shot at bringing this back. Fuya, on the other hand, She's going to have to slow down. They're going to have to find a way to put her in the dirt if they want to make that happen. That should be their
you want him to slam her? Jesus.
No, I'm not slamming her. I'm doing the opposite.
No, I'm giving you crap. I'm giving you.
I'm doing the opposite. I'm saying Fuya is a one-woman wrecking crew right now.
No, they did like. Here's the thing: if you're having trouble with roamers, bring stuff to handle roamers. That's the thing that I see a lot of young teams do, is that they'll make a shift to something that they think is proper. Like we saw Team Sinister try and shift over to Nomad, which they can help you out in roam game, but you only have 3 air jabs. Don't get me wrong, she's an amazing operator, okay? But 3 air jabs for 2 hatches, 2 staircases, everything else under the sun that they can possibly try and motion through to get down to where you are. You're not going to be able to cover that. You have to clear that roam. Bring the Dokkaebi. She's got grenades now. She's a great operator. Bring Jackal. Bring something to try and help you out with what you are having trouble with. And we did not see Team Sinister make an adjustment for that at all. So in the future, I would say, as of like a report card, if we were building one, I would say work on pinches in that information game of trying to go, okay, we need weights, for instance, for that upstairs site where Fuyo was playing in Master. We need weights in order to get this plant down or try and get some pressure in towards the bathroom. With her being here, this is not, that we can't have her here. Otherwise, she can try and punish us. And even that, weights is a very easily punishable place because of the window as well as how close Jacuzzi is to it. So you can literally just motion in, get immediate pressure, and kill that person. We just didn't really see it in tandem. We just saw it, okay, well, we're going to peek one person, and then one other person's going to peek kind of after that and then die, and it just was not there. So I would say just work on that synergy of trying to get your pinches down as well as bringing the proper utility for what you're having trouble with. And I honestly think that Team Sinister will probably end up on the higher end of the women's league.
I think so too. They're not having a good time right now. Here we go right back into the map again. If you didn't know, or if you're just joining us, this is our first matchup of the night. The full schedule you can see it CCS Esports at CCS Esports on Twitter or in our Discord, discord.gg/CCS Esports. But Queen Yolo mid, not necessarily running away with it yet, but in the very significant lead, 5-1 at the half. We will see them the flip sides. And again, we've been talking about Sinister and the promise that they've showed, right? They had a 7-4 battle. I talked about this before the match started against Victoria's Secret, and who some have called one of the favorite teams. Of course, Queen Yolo mid, people have been calling one of the favorite teams too. I mean, there's still a lot left to be played. We've seen a lot of great Siege last week. We're already seeing it here this week. We're seeing Fuya go massive. And what did Stokes say right out of the gate? Where's the Jackal? Well, we'll see one, and we'll see one in the most deadly of hands as Queen Yolo mid starts their attack.
If anyone saw my tweet about Jackal, this op inside of comp, I'm going to rear some things back real quick. The op inside of comp is not nearly as powerful as it is inside of ranked, because Jackal provides your team, especially inside of ranked play, just immediate cohesion, because you can work around one objective. Okay, we kill that guy. The guy that's getting marked, yeah, we kill that guy. We drone him wherever they can rotate to, or drone her wherever they can rotate to, and kill that person. Inside of comp, dial back a little bit. It helps out quite a bit, but it isn't that immediate cohesion because obviously the other side is still working in tandem with each other in order to try to roam game and as well. But he does still provide a lot of things. The Inox being able to track people and make it to where that it provides instant pressure. You don't even have to have anybody around them. They're just getting marked every 5 seconds for 20 seconds. It's just not a very good place to be. It's very, very dangerous because you're like, okay, I can get wall banged. Somebody can shoot me to the floor. You know, anything could happen. He also brings soft destruction and smoke grenades. And he's a 2 armor 2 speed with fantastic guns. So with that being said, we could see Kai in some danger here because of that fact.
While it was funny to see and right out of the gate, Animosity just plows into sight. We'll find one. Jaeger, what bad siege timing, will turn away right as everybody in Garage will peek right down, right through the door, right at her, and remove her head promptly. And just like that, I was going to talk about how Autumn with the Twitch drone says, forget the Jaegers, forget the bandit batteries, I'm just going to zap people's booties. You know, a little bit disrespectful and maybe would pay for it, but no hesitation at all on the side of Queen Yolo mid. I always get that confused. Queen Yolo mid,
Queen
just
Yolo mid.
bum rush
Not
right
to be
into the
confused
building.
with Queen Bolo mid.
Queen Polo Fit. And they'll catch everybody off guard. Nobody was ready for people to be in the building 15, 20 seconds in.
All right, well, Jackal Track's still getting pinged onto Anxiety. Fu can try and track someone else. It will cancel the tracks on to Anxiety, but gonna have some frag grenades now being poured in towards the boxes in the front of Armory here. Over
Bomb
towards
located by
AK. Fuya now
attackers.
motioning down. They still know Anxiety is here. No more pings needed in order to recognize out that, hey, she probably hasn't rotated away from that. Not too much time, but they have all the picks in the world that they could possibly want. Kai and Eagle already down. Does still have 2 Inox tracks as well, so rocking a hard place here for the defense. They need to try and battle out of this. They need a rotation. They need a pick right now. Gonna have one of the goo mines go off. Fu's waiting for the peek, and it's gonna be curtains for Anxiety as she tries to peek in through blue. Lady Brutal playing mud tunnel now, as well as garbage inside of church. So they have both sides covered.
Oh.
It's gonna be a very long angle as well, and the ACOG's gonna win it out from Fu. Quite a bit of damage done, but gonna walk into 2 goo mines, and that's the danger of those. But it's gonna be a flawless round for Queen Yellow mid as Ashen picks up the pieces.
I'm not going to say that I was surprised by this fact that I'm about to say at all. But what I'm not surprised in the slightest. But what really is just so impressive to me is seeing just the incredible aim of some of these women. Fuya's aim, like if I was half as good, if I could aim half as good as that, when I play Siege, I wouldn't be struggling to find a squad whenever it's time to queue up.
Complete honesty, it's not even for me the aim of what Fuya provides. It's what I see inside of Fuya's play, especially just like watching her inside of comp, is that she has very, very good management of angles. And what I mean by that is she knows when she kills said person here in blue, she has this X angle and X angle to worry about. She knew she had mud tunnel,
Attackers need
AK,
to
and one
locate
other
and
angle,
defuse
that
bombs.
weird angle that they make for the blue wall underneath by boxes in order to watch. So she just did her check down. She peeks, goes, okay, mud tunnel, sees that person, kills that person. Checks AK, checks there, knows that she doesn't have anything else to worry about. Her checklist of angles, very, very good. That's something that you see a lot of top players do, joystick, everyone do, is those angle checklists. I know I have these to worry about. I check this, move on. You don't want to try and leave one, otherwise you get teared, you know?
I'm not saying that that's the only good attribute that she has.
no,
now that you know what I mean? And I'm also not saying that she's the only one who has displayed these skills. She was just the most recent in memory, watching her close out that
5
round with the
seconds
Jackal.
left.
I mean, that shot down into Dirt Tunnel was just, perfection. I didn't see
Attackers'
any bullet
objective is to
traces
locate
go
a bomb
by.
and defuse
I
it.
just saw the depth of the poor Valk in Dirt Tunnel that round. So yeah, I mean, it's just if you came into this and we didn't have R6W plastered all over it, I think it'd be difficult to tell for the layman and even the experienced competitive viewer that this is an all-woman league, right? I certainly can't tell the difference.
No,
If there's one thing that I know for sure is I have yet to see somebody who's not better than I am at the game, right? So it's a really spectacular to see the level of gameplay that we've been seeing from these teams so far.
A bomb has been located.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the main thing, just to kind of tag along with that, is that a lot of people, when this was first being made, were just like, oh, women's comp, blah, blah, blah. Look at this, look at that, what they're doing. You're comparing them to pro players that have been playing this game for 4 years at a professional level. That's actually laughable. Like, this is just young young comp. That's all it is. This
They
is
get
just,
paid to play.
Yeah.
They get paid enough money to not have to have a job in order to put job hours and then some into doing this game at a competitive level non-stop. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So don't sit here and try and compare them to your liquids and everything else. This is just young comp teams, guys. That's exactly what this is. This is you playing comp for the first time in a team and trying to get things figured out. You have that one friend that's crazy good at aiming, Fuya. You have that person that understands utility and can make calls, like all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So don't try and, call it what it isn't. It's not Pro League. This is CCS Women's League. This is just women trying to figure out what comp is. It's personally awesome. Kai's gonna get ripped. Fuya's gonna get her kill. That's gonna be Jaeger down, killing, well, basically herself. It's a mirror match there. Garbage still holding down inside of Garage as we continue to bicker back and forth, but gonna be quite a bit of damage. Once again, that gun, the C7E, so good in the proper hands. Gonna be Lady Brutal with the buzzsaw from all the way downtown. Actually, not all the way downtown, more like uptown, all the way up on the Garage balcony. They'll still have a couple people to worry about, but She is holding in towards garage. She does not need to bounce up right now. If she bounces up, this is going to be very, very dangerous territory. Lady Brutus needs to hold down Catwalk. If she can hold this down, this is an easy round win for the defense.
Oh, but she doesn't. In fact, so run to the window. She'll get one, get traded out immediately. So 2-1, or actually 2-2 rather. Still very winnable here for the defense, doing a fantastic job. And speaking of aim, Kai doing a fantastic job downstairs as well. It's just Queen Yolo Mid's roam game was so good. Smoke will get knocked down to about 1 health, about half the health being taken off Twitch as the Smoke will get stuck on a piece of debris. So launch it in towards construction, start blocking that door off, but won't get too far. They might have a little bit of a gap that they can get in. Look at Eagle, 1 health. Anxiety will find one, only 1 left for Team Sinister to stay alive. Sorry, a little brain fart there for a second. And there it is, Anxiety with the 2-piece at the end. And Team Sinister showing that they refuse to go down without a fight. I love seeing that. I love seeing them not give up. And just like that, it's 7-2. Still a very doable situation. I mean, I don't know if anybody watched Pro League when it first aired, but I don't know if you watched the Evil Geniuses match. It was something else. They were down 0-4 and managed to win 7 of the next 8 rounds. The absolute only combination that they could have possibly done to not ended up with a tie or a loss, right? They had to go 7-1. They did it. So anything can happen, folks. And Sinister, if they start getting into it, they start feeling comfortable. They won that last round, and I talked about it. We had a game crash right after they won the last round, and that kind of killed the momentum. But perhaps they could carry the momentum that they just got off of the last round because they played that round very, very well into the following round, this round coming up, and they're going down to basement, one of the preferred sites. Can they hold it together? They had some issues in blue the last time. Can they make those corrections? That's going to be
we'll have to see. Still a long road ahead of them. They have to win 4 straight in order to bring this back now, and that's already taken along with the one that they just won. So it's going to be 5 straight in total just to push this to overtime. Do we have overtime here, Ty? Really hoping we have overtime here.
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, just get better at casting, forehead.
Yes, we do. So we tie. If it's a tie at 6 apiece, we go into a 3-round overtime.
5 seconds left before insertion.
You're already doing it better than other people.
Well, let's not mention anybody's.
I'm not going to mention it because it affects my paycheck. So I'm good. Good on that. I don't know who I'm talking about. Anyways, despite that point. Round now starting out for Sinister on defense. Not going to be pulling off the roam game that we saw from the likes of Team Yolo mid. So looks like E-Girl is going to be rotating over towards Mud. I've liked how they've set up their defenses so far, especially upstairs. They did a pretty routine setup, but it ended up working out for them pretty handily. Looks like for the offense on Team Yolo mid right now, they're going to be pressuring Mud Tunnel. They're actually bringing both of their hard destructions. They've got that, but they've also got Autumn set up on both of those hard destructions. They are just roam clearing upstairs right now, so it looks like they were ready for someone to try and roam like they were with Vappers and Fuya. But again, never a bad idea just to start the map up top and work your way down.
Yes, indeed. So here we go, a minute off the board, an all or nothing round for Team Sinister. And just like last time, Queen Yolo mid, no delay whatsoever in getting into the building. You see the Maverick start to carve open one of the hatches there in Moto. Nobody peeking up through the hatch trying to get the kick, though. So you will hear the sound cue.
Bomb located by attackers.
And this time they will not resist Yolo mid upstairs. Instead, they will decide to do a turtle. It worked pretty well for them last time, with the exception of Kai, who did a roam, was able to get a 1-for-1 trade, but not waste a lot of time. That's okay, because all of her utility had been deployed, being the Jaeger, so they kind of got a net positive on that trade. It would have been a little nicer, of course, to waste a little bit more time, but at the end of the day, it definitely helped towards getting them the round wins. 6-2, time ticking away. All the hatches open. Now the intel gathering begins for Yolo mid.
As you said, drone play now going to be coming out for the offense here. We are going to have quite a few bullets make contact with Autumn as she does get taken down and confirmed with the M590. It's actually going to be inside of Mud Tunnel, so it looks like she tried to get aggressive over towards the hat. Vapper's going to follow suit as garbage will fall, and it seems like it's going to be all blue all the way. Well, at least currently speaking. 2 frags coming down. E-Girl quite lit as well as Kai and behind the bomb chassis inside of church. 40 seconds now as Animosity will be able to take down Kai. Only 2 to find on the defense now. E-Girl and Lady Brutal line in the strengths. Still have one over by AK, but immediately gets taken down by Ann. Rotating in now, it's going to be all left up to Lady Brutal. Doesn't have anything to prevent it. It's going to be Animosity to close it out as Queen Yolo mid continues on their streak, making it 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, Animosity wanting to get some kills back for herself. Ending it on, I believe, the 3K, possibly the 4K. Either way, fantastic job, Queen Yolo mid to take it down in match number 1. They will go up to 2-0. Team Sinister, unfortunately, 0-2 so far in the season. Still a lot of season left to play. So if I'm not mistaken,